Hi guys, welcome to Nyonya Cooking. Imagine this for a quick while. You're having some guests over for dinner, you're going to prepare a whole load of food, and then you still need to impress your guests with the appetizer because that's the first dish to everything. What's more easier than getting some store-bought chips or peanuts, but that's so boring, right? I have the best recipe for you here. This is how to prepare fried anchovies with onions. I love this dish because it's not only so delicious, it perks the appetite, and also it's so simple that you will never imagine that it could be simpler than this. You never get it wrong. I am going to prepare this recipe and I'm going to show you how it looks like, so let's hop on to the ingredients. The main ingredient that we will need for this dish would be definitely anchovies. I have here some store-bought dried anchovies. So what I did was to rinse this and then dry it with some paper towel. So the anchovies that you should choose should not be too long or too large, and this is about 3 to 4 centimeters, and that's the right size that you should go for. The next ingredient would be 1 brown onion, just cut them into slices, and I have also 1 chili. Remember to deseed them or else you will end up with a dish that is too spicy for your liking. Just for taste, we're going to have some soy sauce, some water, and also some oil to fry the anchovies. So now let's move on to cooking. We'll first begin with the pan that is already preheated, and then I'm going to pour some oil in it. Just hover your hand over the pan, and once you feel the heat, it's time to put in the anchovies. Stir fry this, all you need is to have these anchovies turn slightly golden brown, and then we're going to leave it up from the pan and put it aside. Fry these anchovies until it's about 90% brown to what you would like, and then you can dish it out, because when you continue cooking until it turns into this golden brown that you like, the anchovies would then continue to cook even after dishing it out to the side. So because there's still oil coated with the anchovies, so it actually still continues cooking after a while. Just using a paper towel, wipe the pan, and then we're going to use the same pan. If there's extra oil that you used to fry the anchovies previously, you could continue frying on this, but I'm just going to add a teeny weeny bit of oil, and then we're going to add the onions into the pan. You can also use scallions for this dish, but I personally prefer brown onions because it's much thicker and it's much juicier. So really, when we fry this, all we want is to have these onions slightly caramelized, soft, and then we're going to add the anchovies back. So to make it soft, now that you see the onions are slightly brown, I'm going to add the soy sauce and also water. The onions are now ready. It's slightly softer, but yet you still can have this crunchiness as you bite into it. We're going to switch the stove off and then add the anchovies into the pan, and not to forget the chilies. The moment you have the chilies in the pan, you can just have this whiff of spiciness that just comes by. And this dish is actually served like this. It's dry. You can add it as a side dish too, or as an appetizer, like I mentioned earlier. I could imagine that it could really work well with porridge as well. You see, I kept my promise, right? This recipe is super simple, and in fact you can use this as an after work recipe. There you go. Hear that crunch? Wow. I love it. Oh god, now I'm really hungry for the next dish. I'm gonna finish this whole thing by myself, I guess. It's slightly spicy because of the chili, and as I've mentioned, if you don't like it, take lesser of it, or else This is really going to perk the appetite and you're going to be ready for the main course. So there you go, another simple recipe. I hope you stay subscribed to Nyonya Cooking. Give this video a thumbs up if you love this recipe, and also visit us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and also on Instagram. Remember to hashtag Nyonya Cooking once you recreate the dishes from our recipe. So till then, I wish you happy cooking! It will be in the oven until it is golden brown, and then you know that you will want to take it out. But before that, remember to have